Today we're doing a big desk upgrade. I am going to try to put up 4 monitors. This is a little bit crazy, but I need a preview monitor above my main monitor so that while I'm working with Kate Brewer, the director, on this Dodge House project, she can have a full screen monitor to watch the images that I'm editing instead of trying to look onto my screens and see my preview window. So I ordered a quad monitor stand from Fully.com. The quad monitor is so you can set up 4 monitors. I'm not gonna do that, but I need to set up one above another, and the only stand it looked like that would get that done for me was the quad stand. I also ordered 2 single Jarvis arms from Fully, one for this Thunderbolt display and one for the other. What I'd like to be able to do is have more movement in the monitors, and then also to be able to pull them in a little bit tighter so I don't have to look and stretch as far to be able to see images in the upper corners. The last thing that I'm going to do in this desk upgrade is I'm going to add an SD card reader under my riser to go with the USB reader that I have right here. I really like this being slung underneath so that it's a little bit tucked away and hidden. So I'd say this is a pretty significant desk overhaul, and I'm excited to try to get a new feel for my workstation. But most of all, I'm excited about the ability to move the monitors to my own comfort for whatever app that I'm using, as well as clean up the riser for these monitor stands. It's going to be nice to have these monitors looking like they're just floating in air. So let's cut things off there and get to work. There, and I can't do something like this because then the pole, I'd have to drill a hole in the desk. So our first bit of drama in the installation of the whole new desk setup, and I knew this was going to be a problem. The clamp that comes with the Fully Jarvis arms has to clamp on the back of the desk, and typically a desk is one level. There's not often a riser, although a lot of these desk companies sell risers as an accessory. Well, my desk is custom. DJ and I built it 3-ish years ago, and the riser is made out of 2x6, so it's they call it 2x6, but it's like 1 3/4 inches thick or whatever. And there's 2 of them with a small, like 3-inch-ish gap between them. Well, the clamp will not fit between them. You can see in the footage. I would either have to drill a hole through the top riser or figure out something else. So we just opted with putting the bracket at the back of the desk and drilling a big deck screw into it. So that's what I felt was the best thing to do. Even though Fully, I'm sorry if this is not the official way to install your equipment, it's really the only option I had, or else I wouldn't have been able to use it. We did test it, kind of push on it. We've got the Thunderbolt displays on there now. Everything seems to be holding, so fingers crossed we're not going to have any issues. I think it's going to be okay. So we got one monitor up, and I need to figure out what I'm going to do with the second monitor.
That was a lot of work for one monitor. Again, we used the quad desk setup. It took a little while to get that situated, but we've got it. The cables are managed, everything's looking good and holding fine. I do eventually want to put a 27-inch monitor up there to match the main monitor. Not in resolution, I don't want a 4K monitor as my preview monitor, just a simple 1080 monitor, but I want it to be 27 inches and probably a Dell monitor so everything looks uniform. Eventually I'll swap out the Thunderbolt displays as well for some 1440p Dell 27-inch monitors so everything is a nice uniform look. But for now, budget's tight. Gonna stick with the Thunderbolt displays, even though I probably could sell them for $100 or $150 each, which is just crazy to me. Those monitors were $1,000 each back in the day, and it's really hard to give them away. $100, they're a really good monitor, but the bezel's so big, they're heavy. I'm kind of over them. Back to the show. All right, so today we're going to start in on the Thunderbolt displays. Cody's actually coming over in a little bit, so you'll see him in the video as well. I need to get all this disconnected and kind of uncable managed so we can pull this off of the riser and set it down in a safe place with a towel and all that, so we can pull this stand off. We're going to replace this with a Jarvis arm that articulates from Foley.com and get everything up and running. So let's get this all disconnected. So putting the VESA mount on the Thunderbolt display, through the magic and power of video editing, the sorcery of video editing, it was able to be made to look like it was easy. It was easy getting the pedestal off, but I made the stupid mistake of screwing the first screw of the VESA bracket down too tightly, so the end screw wasn't lining up. I thought that the bracket that's inside the monitor wasn't out far enough, so silly me took the little plastic card, pushed on the thing, and it snapped back into the monitor. And then that's where the pain begins. You'll see some B-roll here. Cody had the great idea of using some twisty ties to put through the holes of the bracket that was sucked inside the Thunderbolt display, and we did 4 of them across, took a bolt and threaded the twisty ties around the bolt, and we were able to pry the bracket back out, which normally the pedestal pulls out, but we had to use this bolt. We did have to find a video on YouTube about how to pull that bracket back out if it gets sucked in. I'll link to it up here if you are having any issues with your own Thunderbolt displays as you convert them to VESA mount. We learned our lesson on the first monitor, the second monitor. We didn't make the same mistake. So back to it.
So the LUT has to pull out that green, but the green was necessary to calibrate in because the white point was missing so much green, and there's no way this monitor can display all those color values.
So you can see Cody is like the calibration expert. He has the tool and the software and whatever to come in and calibrate monitors. He wanted to make sure that the preview monitor above was calibrated to match the monitor below, which he had calibrated previously. So he went through and did all his sciencey math graphs and charts stuff and got everything lined up the way it needs to be. So Cody, thanks for your help on getting that preview display calibrated. It looks beautiful, especially when editing in Final Cut. So I'm going to show you a handy tool that you should have when you're building IKEA furniture, things like this, anything that requires these Allen keys. Come with me. This is what you need. This is an essential tool when you're using Allen key stuff, especially with like your camera rigs, all the small rig stuff, the Zacuto, they all use the hex head Allen key stuff. Some of them are metric, some of them are SAE, but you can get this set of, these are two separate sets that I taped together and rigged together, but these are a really handy tool when you're building stuff like this. We use this extensively through the assembly process. It just gives you more leverage and it's a lot easier to use. I'll link to this down in the description. It's by a company called Felo or Felo from Germany. It's made really well. I use this all the time. So if you assemble, again, IKEA stuff, camera rigs, Jarvis arms, anything that requires these Allen type keys, metric or SAE, you gotta have one of these. All in all, I'm really happy with how this upgrade turned out. If you are thinking of doing something as obnoxious as having 4 monitors in your edit bay, take a look at some of the links in the description to see what you might need to get to make that happen. Again, Fully.com provides amazing monitor arms, the quad monitor arm and the Jarvis arms, solid construction, really beautiful finish, great cable management, and they seem to be able to hold the real heft of those Thunderbolt displays no problem. So I'm really thrilled with my first experience with Fully.com and can't wait to look at the other accessories, desks, and things that they have, maybe for future desk upgrades. Links to those products will be in the description below, so check out Fully.com if you're interested in picking up one of these accessories or some of their other office products. I think that's going to do it for this video, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. And again, I can't thank you all enough, all of the new subscribers we've had coming to the channel. So thanks everyone for clicking subscribe. If you're not a subscriber, click the subscribe button and the bell so you get notifications every time we upload a video. And the best thing that you can do to help support the channel is to click the like button below. As you know, we were recently monetized, so I'm excited to be earning some income off of these videos. And my hope is with your help, through likes, subscribes, and shares, that we'll be able to grow the channel well beyond the nearly 5,000 subscribers we have right now, and I can continue to produce more Final Cut content, filmmaking content, and all the content that you're excited to watch. That's going to be it for now. Until the next one, I'll see you all soon.
Save it for conversation.